If you like pants, I got a game for you. Kirby's Epic Yarn. Kirby's Epic Yarn was the first game I've ever beaten, so what does that mean? If you put nostalgia and denim aside, is this game actually good? Let's find out. Of course, Kirby is visually different, but what else is different? I'm gonna highlight the two biggest differences. One, he cannot suck anything, meaning no copy abilities, and two, he could transform into a big variety of transformations. For that second thing, I'm a bit conflicted, but I'm not gonna be that negative yet. This game has levels. Even better, this game has pretty good ones. Each level in this game is unique and interesting, especially when you're talking visually. When you take a look at a game like New Super Mario Bros. Wii on its own, yeah, sure, the levels might be different, but are they visually interesting or are they visually, well, different? Even if a level is mechanically different or has new ideas, most of these levels look scarily similar. So this leads to the levels being quite unmemorable, which is quite a bummer because if the whole game isn't visually unique, it leads to boredom. Like, just look at the first 3 levels in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It's just a bunch of generic areas, so even though if they're different or not in terms of new ideas, it doesn't really matter because they aren't visually unique or interesting, so after playing the level, I'll kinda remember nothing. In Kirby's Epic Yarn, most levels have brand new things to mess around with. Nearly each level has not only interesting ideas, but also unique ideas. Just take a look at every level in World 2 except for the boss. These levels aren't crazy, but it doesn't really need to be. For a game like this, all it needs to do is keep my interest, and yes, this game does that. And plus, the levels are gorgeous, so why would I complain? Those visuals are not just pretty, but it also allows the game to do much more. In most games, the art style doesn't really allow the game to do anything more than what the game actually does. It might change your experience because hey, I love the art style, but nothing more. In something like The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, the cartoony art style leads to Link being more expressive, which allows the game to have more charm. In Epic Yarn, the art style doesn't only lead to the game being so damn cute, but it also helps the game build its levels. The ideas in this game are practically created by the art style itself. Without this art style, a big part of the game would be quite different. Like, do you think these levels could work in any other art style? I don't think so, especially not in other Kirby games. On the subject of other Kirby games, why was this one so different? We've gotten other Kirby spin-offs in the past, but just remember that this was the first Kirby game on the Wii and the first home console Kirby game in almost a decade. To put it simply, Goodfield Inc., who had previously developed Wireland Shake It or Wireland the Shake Dimension if you live in Europe, have been working on a game featuring Prince Fluff. Until this may or may not have happened. Hey, so how's that game going?
It's going great.
Let me see. Oh, wait, what? Who's that cute support character? Is he like a Pokemon or something?
Oh, his name is Prince Fluff. He's actually the main character.
Who the is Prince Fluff?
Um, he's a new character.
Did you just say new?
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
So are you like pissed or really pissed?
I think I'm really pissed.
Okay, why?
Know what happened when we last tried a new IP? We got Pikmin. Pikmin.
Actually, Pikmin was pretty good.
Did my wallet like it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now put Kirby in, you worthless peasant. To be fair, he's still in the game, but I don't feel like he's too important. Yeah, sure, he's a player too, and yeah, sure, he is almost in every cutscene, but he feels like he's just thrown into the game. Heck, even the transformations have more importance. These things are basically the replacement for copy abilities. In other Kirby games, you would just suck up an enemy and boom, you're the hero of time. In this game, to transform, you touch one of these metamorphoses and boom, you're shit. This here is my biggest complaint. I don't really like most of the transformations in this game, but there's 10 of them, so I'll just review most of them quickly. These ones are either too slow or just don't feel great to control. These ones are nice but nothing special. This one has a cool idea and is well executed, as well as feeling great to control. But wait, I didn't
talk about
free transformations. The saucer, what is my problem with this one? The feeling of this transformation is quite uncomfortable. Hey guys, I found something smaller than my self-esteem. The Wiimote's D-pad. Look, this D-pad already made Kirby and other transformations feel quite worse, but it didn't really destroy my experience. But with this one, it kinda does. It turns something that could have been at least alright into something I kinda hate. Compared to most other transformations, the saucer moves in a very slippery way, which wouldn't have been a problem if the D-pad wasn't so damn small. The small size of the D-pad makes the saucer really imprecise, which means that a lot of getting hit by enemies and a lot of bumping into walls, which doesn't really feel great, but I know, you might say this.
Well, they couldn't have changed the Wiimote to make the D-pad bigger. If anything, blame the people that made the controller, not the game developers.
Yes, you're right, they couldn't have, but how about you just don't put the saucer in? It's that, or you just change the physics so that it's so not damn imprecise. That's something that the game developers could have done. I bet Nintendo didn't force them to do this. But of course, this isn't the worst transformation. When I was younger, I loved trains. Thomas the Train was my jam. But this just sucks. So yes, the train outruns itself, so no D-pad complaining, but hold it! How do you control the train then? It wouldn't be a Wii game without motion controls, and man oh man, is this a Wii game because I can confirm this has motion controls.
Yay.
Motion controls aren't necessarily bad, but if it's used like this, it kinda sucks. But hey, that's enough negativity, because you know there's positivity in the air when you find the one. No, I'm not talking about a certain person. I'm talking about the dolphin baby. It's just so great to move with, despite the small D-pad. Going above the water just feels so satisfying. Normally I don't like water physics in a platformer, but the dolphin is just great. The dolphin isn't slow, contrasting the other way that you could control with Kirby in the water. Every time I transformed into the dolphin, I was just wet. Speaking of great emotions, this is what this game is. An ocean of great feels. In the corner of this title screen, it might say Good Feel because, well, the developers of this game are named Good Feel Inc., but even if they didn't have any involvement with this game, it would still have context. The game's experience just makes you feel good. The visuals just make me happy and the music just tops it off. I'll give you a perfect example. Now that just makes me happy and relaxed. If I could guarantee something is that this game gave me a very low amount of negative emotions. But a big reason for why I would say that is not really something related to the game's quality. Despite Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze being an amazing game, my experience with this game is filled with negative emotions because damn it, I died. But with Kirby's Epic Yarn, it's quite easy, so it didn't really piss me off as much. But I'm not gonna just say the game's easy and leave. I want to mention how even if this game is so easy, it doesn't punish you with a haha go restart the level when you get hit. Instead of doing that, it takes a Sonic approach and alters it a little. In Sonic, your rings are kind of like your health bar. As soon as you get hit while you still have rings, you lose some or all of your rings, but when you have 0 rings, you die. In Kirby's Epic Yarn, when you get hit, you lose some or all of your beads, but when you have 0 beads and get hit, you don't die. But don't say, oh, that means that you could just like get hit 100 times and there won't be any consequences. Don't say that because Epic Yarn still kinda punishes you. You lose beads as I said, and beads are actually worth something. Among other things, beads actually give you extra levels, so there's still an incentive to get the most beads as you can. But of course, I just want to mention a few more things. This game is always interesting, from the second I pop that Wii disc in, till the credits. Even the beginning levels are packed full of ideas. 20 minutes in, you play this level in which you're infested with plant life, then you go into this rainy area, after that you travel with the saucer, which, even though if I hate the saucer,
the uniqueness of this level
it just makes me forget about all those flaws. Here are my final notes. This game is unique in a good way. Its art style is amazing and almost each level has its own greatness. And oh boy, this game is just straight up dopamine. The music, the levels, the art style just put a smile on my face. This is my third playthrough, but I'm sure it will not be my last. I'm sure a big part of my enjoyment with this game is related to nostalgia, but even so, this game is nothing short of a cute and unique masterpiece.